Hey guys, and welcome back for another sewing tutorial. It's been a while, but I wanted to take a little page out of the Diana Austin playbook. If you know who she is Eloise and Ezra on YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok. But when she does her tutorials, she kind of just has her ironing board, her machines behind her, and then she just sews. And so I want to try that today. Let me know if you like this format, because I just feel like sewing some things and I want to take you guys with me. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make is a simple raglan t-shirt, and this is going to be for a little baby. I have a baby shower on Sunday, so I have a couple projects that we're going to work on. And the first one's going to be a Raglan Tee, and if you don't know what a Raglan Tee is, it's kind of like the baseball shirts that have like a different, it like goes up here, you know? And is like usually a different color here than it is on the bodice. So I have my pieces already cut out. This is an Ellie and Mac pattern. I'm just using a gray sort of t-shirt material, and then I also have this really fun fabric that's going to be for the sleeves. So I have both of my sleeves cut out, and this is what they will look like. They're super tiny because this is like 6 to 12 months. And then I have one neckband. So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare my neckband. I already have my iron preheated. So I'm just going to take my iron I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to iron it in half. And by pre-ironing it, it's going to make things a lot easier. Oh, I need to remember to look down here. I don't know why I look up there. But yeah, if I pre-iron it, then it's going to be easier for when I actually sew the band together. And yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to press that super quick, and then we're going to take this piece and we're just going to put the right sides together. We have the pre-creased band, and we're going to put that with the right sides together, and I'm just going to put a little clip for that. So if you want to pre-iron your pieces, you can. When it comes to this little Raglan t-shirt set, the pieces look kind of similar when it comes to the front and back, so I like to use masking tape, and I put front on it. And then when it comes to the sleeve, again, there is a front and a back, and you need to make sure you note that when you go to put the, you know, when you go to cut out your pattern. So I put, again, a little piece of masking tape, and I put you know, I wrote on it that it's the front, because not all sleeve patterns care about being on the front and the back. So there is this line here, and that is where the sleeve goes. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to line up the right sides together, and we're going to clip it into place. And then I'm just going to fold it over, and then I'll get my other one and look for where it says front, which is here, and we're going to put that against the opposite side of the t-shirt. Now this is cotton lycra. This is what it was called when I bought it. And if you have a fabric, that's how it's going to kind of look. If you have a fabric that is like this heathered gray, you might not know what's the right or wrong side. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the way that the fabric curls. And this one's quite curly, and it usually curls to the right side of the fabric. So just keep that in mind when you are sewing up your garment. So now we're just going to do those two seams. Okay, so this is how it is looking. And I went ahead and did that quick little side seam. So then you can fold it in half. And you already have that pre-folded area. So we're good when it comes to that. So now we're going to take the back of our shirt, and we are going to line up the sides with the other side of the sleeves. Okay. I don't think I accidentally sewed through the seam, or I sewed through the tape. No, that's okay. This is a super quick t-shirt. And when they're little like this, it takes no fabric at all. And you can make a bunch of them. And they're so cute and easy. Okay. So now we're going to sew up those two. Okay, so this is how it's looking. Isn't it coming to be so cute? Okay, so now we're going to do the side seams. So we still need to have it inside out, just like that. And we're going to first line up the armpits, and then we'll just go down to the, there we go, to the wrist area, and then we'll go down to the side. I don't need to clip it all. And again, the sides, or the armpit seam, is probably the most important one in my opinion. And this pattern, or this version, is not gonna have a cuff, so we're just going to hem up the bottom and the wrists at the end. Okay. So cute. What are we at now? Couple minutes. Okay, so we're going to do up those side seams. So as you can see, that the front is not that much lower than the back, so that's why it's important to label your front and back. Okay, so here is our little shirt, and now we're going to go ahead and put on the neckband. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our neckband, and we have it in a loop now. This is where my, what do you call it, my seam is here. So I'm going to put a little triangle. I'm just going to cut a little triangle right there, and that's going to mark the halfway point. And then I'm going to take that mark and line it up with the seam, and then we're going to find the quarter points. I'm just going to cut a little notch. If it's little, then it's not going to show up. You'll sew right over top of it, or even possibly cut it off. So then we're going to take our shirt. And we're going to find the center of the front and the center of the back. And we're going to take our scissors again, cutting a little notch in the front and the back. And we're going to put those front and back triangles together and find the sides, and the sides are not going to be even. As you can see, there's more here than there is on the back because the neckline is a little lower, so that's why it's important to do the front and back little notches first before we go ahead and do the shoulder ones. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and place our neckband. And I like to put the seam on the back. Some people like to put it in the front. Not the front, but the side. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody has their own preference. So you're just going to take your neckband and put it against the right side of your fabric. And I'm only going to pin the 4 notches because we are going to stretch the neckband as we sew, and you're going to stretch it so it fits because the neckband is going to be a little shorter than the neck hole opening. So this is how it's going to look right now, which is kind of weird. But it'll all work out in the end. You just have to trust the process. If you wanted to, since you're here, we can also go ahead and iron up your hem, and then we can just kind of do it all at the same time. And if you want to do it on a regular sewing machine, if you don't have a cover stitch, you can do a zigzag, like a stretch stitch, or you can use your cover stitch. So whatever you want to do for the hem. Or you don't have to hem at all, because like jersey knit or cotton lycra, it doesn't fray. So you can do whatever you want. If it's a girl, or if it's like you want to add a girly touch, you could also do a little lettuce hem with your serger, which I've done. I've made a little reel over on my Instagram. So, oh cute. So cute. Now this part is going to be a little small to get inside of the cover stitch, but it's doable. I've done it before. Because you have to sew it in the round. And I'd say there's a possibility that if you wanted to, you could maybe hem it first and then sew up that side seam. I've never done that, but if you get the hem perfectly across, I mean, anything's possible. So okay. Alright, so we're going to go over the sewing machine. First we're going to do the serger to put on the neckband, and then we're going to use our cover stitch. I like to start in the back of the shirt where the seam is, and I'm just going to pull from the next notch, and we're stretching the neckband to the size of the hole opening, making sure you don't stretch the shirt itself. all the way to the next notch. And then we switch and we go to the next one. And we switch. Okay, so we are using the Cover Stitch 2340 CV. If I can find it, I will link it. If you're interested in a cover stitch, what we're going to do, we have our hem already pressed, or was. Now it's not anymore. So what you do with this machine is you actually don't sew from the inside, you sew from the outside. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go to like the side seam, and I'm going to put it under my presser foot, and you're going to kind of see where the hem is, and we're going to try to keep our needles on top of it. If it's not perfect, it's okay, because it is sometimes hard to get it perfect. Kind of overlap it a little bit, and then I'm just going to pull up our needles. There's these 3 or 4 little things up here, so you have to press the first 2, which unlocks the thread, the tension discs, and I pull those threads. I lift my foot, and I have 3 threads on this one, and I'm going to pull it out like that. And then we will just snip and then snip the threads. So that's how it's going to look. If it's not perfect and there's a little bit of extra fabric that's kind of, you can use some scissors just to cut that off. But that is pretty good in my opinion. I'm getting better. So now we're going to do the little cuffs. We'll start at the sleeve seam, just because if it's not perfect, that's the place where, you know, it's underneath the wrist, so it's less likely you'll see it. So you kind of just need to like pull some more fabric every inch or so. Working in the round. Okay, so if your neckband seems a little stretched out, just give it a good steam and it should kind of go right back to the way it was. But I think for the first little shirt, It is super darling. If you have tags, you know, you could stick those in just so people know what the front and the back is. And this is a great little shirt if you wanted to have fun and maybe embroider on the front of it or do some vinyl lettering or something. So I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial with the Ellie and Mac Raglan. It is a tried and true. They've had this pattern for a very long time. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed more or if you would like more videos like this in the future. Because I have a feeling I'm going to be doing 2 more. And maybe 2 more after that. But yeah, so the pattern link will be in the description as well, and then my sewing machines if you're interested. I have a Brothers 655D. That one is not as popular. It's very similar to the 1034D. It's a beginner entry-level machine. And then I have the 2340 CV cover stitch. And I'll link that one because that one is really great for entry-level cover stitch use. So anywho, I'm gonna get going. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys.